Stay still. Hello. We have a bit of a different topic to talk about today. Forsaken's skins. Now, you know a thing or two about me, and you've seen some of my past videos. You've seen that your boy likes to make some skins. And you've seen that most of my skins are original. I am a fighter for original skins that people like. I made Dumsaka with the assist of my boy Nene-sters. Love you, Nene. Mwah. Beautiful boy. He helped me make Dumsaka. And Dumsaka is an original skin that everybody loves. I love original skins. And one of my biggest problems with Forsaken is what I feel is a lack of original skins. I feel like the game has encountered an epidemic of pop culture reference skins, and it's just overall kind of ruining the skin identity for the game, which I don't like, because I like Forsaken, and I like some of the skins they bring to the table, but I don't like when there is an absurdity of reference skins, because you just don't really have an identity. I don't want this game to have the same identity that Fortnite has when it comes to the skins. I don't want it to have that. So I wanted to make a video talking about it and just kind of giving my opinions on it. I think if I decide to go through with it, I'm going to interview a few people talking about the topic, see what their thoughts are. But I'm going to preface this. I'm going to preface a few things before we start getting into the conversation. So you listen up. If you skip these disclaimers and then you try to talk shit about this video, I swear to God, I swear to God. But anyways, I'm going to preface a few things. Number one, this is not a video that's meant to be malicious or anything. Don't try to say that I'm hating. Don't try to say that I hate the game or anything. This is not hate. This is constructive criticism. I know that a lot of people out there, especially people on Twitter, have forgotten what constructive criticism is, and they want to label anything that's somebody disagreeing with their opinion as the person is hating. But I am constructively critiquing the game and just giving my thoughts on what I think could make the game better. This is not any targeted harassment or bullying or anything like that. And no, I'm just simply talking about this because I feel like it's something that kind of needs to be talked about. I've seen a few videos that talk about this, and I've also seen people, whether it's been in VCs or in servers, talk about this, and they are also not happy with it. And I just kind of want to talk about it. So, as you know, within this most recent update, the Noli update, our boy Noli's finally here. How exciting. There were a lot of skins that came alongside him. And I did notice that some were reference skins and others were collab skins. There was a Doom to Die collab and there was a Die of Death collab. I think there was maybe another collab of some sort that I don't remember off the top of my head. But there was some collabs and then there was some reference skins. The main thing that really made me want to talk about these guidelines is because I've noticed this more recent word that's been going around. And that word is recognizability. So, if we go back to the old Forsaken days, back when the Dream Game skins were in game, that was when this recognizability stuff first became a problem. Because there was the Nasatra skin, there was the Unoya, and then there was Mafioso Cool Kid, but nobody ever really talked about that. It was mainly Unoya that everybody talked about. If I said the name wrong, I'm sorry. Everybody was talking about how they didn't like that they couldn't recognize the Dream Game skins. They didn't know if Unoya was Elliot, and they didn't know if Nasatra was Shaletsky. Now, I know you've probably heard this before, but it's because it's true. It literally takes a few milliseconds to look in the bottom left of your screen, and you can see the corresponding render to the survivor. But you might sit there and be like, well, I don't have time to do that. I can't do that, Mr. Balls. I can't look at the bottom left for half a millisecond. I gotta lock in. Oh, well, that's okay. Because your first match here, you might see Unoya, and you won't recognize who it is. But then, what's this? Unoya just threw something that healed somebody? Well, guess what? It has now permanently clocked in your brain that Unoya equals Elliot. Congratulations. You remembered something. But no. That's just like what confuses me with this recognizability stuff is I feel like it's a very strange rule. I feel like it's not something that needs to be very important, but the reason this rule bothers me is because of how often I see the rule get thrown around and talked about, but then some skins kind of don't abide by that rule at all. I'm going to talk about the killer side of things first, because that's where I've noticed this becoming more prominent. I want to talk about something I saw on Twitter the other day. This was maybe a week ago or a little longer, I don't remember. But there was a skin that somebody made, forgot who it was. I'll probably find the tweet before this video comes out. And it was, they had made a Chara Undertale. They had made a Chara 1x1 skin. And it looked really good. It looked really good. Like, it was detailed, it was good, it looked sick. And the skin was declined because apparently it didn't fit 1x. Now, let's talk about that. Didn't fit 1x. Now, I'm pretty sure on the same day that tweet got posted, a render for the Diva skin got posted. Now, I don't understand how Chara doesn't fit 1x, but Hatsune Miku apparently does. And I'm not saying that rhetorically, and I'm not saying that in a sarcastic way to be an asshole. I, again, have to preface so much stuff so nobody thinks that I'm being a fucking hater. I just don't get how this rule works. This recognizability rule. I feel like it just shouldn't exist at all. And I feel like people on Twitter make such a big deal about it, and it just causes so much shit. Because Chara 1x got declined, but Diva 1x got added. And also the Tito skin. And then there's also a Cool Kid skin that's coming up. That's also Hatsune Miku. So you've got all those getting added. And can't tell who that is. You could, if you ignored the change logs and you didn't look in the shop and you just played a match like the game didn't get updated and you saw Tito, you'd be like, who the fuck is that? You wouldn't know who that is. You seriously wouldn't. If you don't use Twitter or anything like that, you would just stare at that skin and have no idea who it is. Because, you know, again, people don't look in the bottom left, apparently. So, this recognizability rule is becoming very confusing for me. I want to know why everybody was so livid about, like, Yunoya not being recognizable. But then with all these new skins, nobody cares. These are more unrecognizable than Yunoya was. What's going on here? So, it just is so confusing. Because, again, you can't recognize that that's 1x, and you can't recognize that that's 2-time. You can't recognize that that's Cool Kid. Like, you can only recognize them because they have intros, but the intros apparently aren't enough. The bold red text that tells you the killer's name is apparently not good enough. Like, I don't know. I might be just, like, rambling about the same shit a lot. It's just these guidelines are so confusing that as I'm recording this video and talking about it, I'm getting a brain fart. So I'm gonna move on before my brain shits everywhere. I wanted to also talk about the reference skins. So, I already know I talked about the recognizability stuff. There's not much to talk about with that. We'll probably go back to that topic once my brain can recover from that. But I wanted to talk about the reference skins. I feel like Forsaken not only has too many reference skins, but too much effort gets put into those reference skins. Another thing I saw on Twitter is stuff about hacklord. I am, like, pretty positive hacklord. Well, yeah, they said that hacklord is a P-Moon skin, so hacklord is a reference. They said hacklord something. I just know he's a reference skin, and he's the quote-unquote last high-effort skin. Now, I'm not saying that the game can't have references and that some skins can't have more effort into others, but it really feels like these skins are getting spoiled. Like, spoiled to the point where you should just make it a separate killer. Hacklord has, like, custom animations, custom look and everything. It's supposed to have a custom last man standing, custom intro, custom chase theme, custom this and that. Custom everything. And I'm not against skins having custom content, but so many skins have it. There is so much effort that goes into these skins, and they're all references. And it, like, just kind of stinks. Because it feels like the more reference skins there are, the less of an identity the game has. I want more original stuff. I like references, but I don't like when there's so many. And I wish that the things they would reference were more Roblox oriented. Like, if you were referencing stuff that's like just Roblox culture, that's fine. That is literally fine. But it's all these pop culture references, from Hatsune Miku to fucking Project Moon to shit, My Little Pony. Shit, let me think of like one more example. I don't have another example, but you know there's another reference in there somewhere. Like, there's all these references, and it just really stinks that there's not more original stuff. And then when there is original stuff, it just kind of feels very, like, slapped in. Like, it doesn't feel like the original stuff is really acknowledged to any extent, which really sucks. It feels like all the reference stuff gets the effort put into it, and then the original stuff just kind of gets, like, left in the shadows. And that's, like, really unfortunate. Because I feel like if more original skins were made, people would really like the stuff. They would like original skins. Don't get me wrong, the reference skins are cool, but, like, having more original things is, like, a nice feature. And when you're building this reputation where all the skins in your game are just references and stuff, it just, like, kind of stinks. Because when I see the community talking and stuff, like whether, you know, it's on Twitter or, like, literally in servers, like Roblox servers, they just talk about reference skins for survivors. It feels like that reputation has naturally been built to where people are just expecting and suggesting reference skins because nobody really cares about original content anymore. And, like, that just kind of blows. Because I like original stuff. I like when there's, like, original skins and whatnot. Like, think of an original skin I wore recently. Dusakar got a plush skin. And while it, you know, simple little thing, I liked it. He looked like a crochet little plushie. I thought it was cute. Thought it was like an awesome little skin. And it's an original little thing. Same for Taff got that. Chance got one, but I don't really use the Chance one. But I like using the Dusakar one. It's cute. And more original things like that would be really nice to have. But we get all these reference skins, and then we get these recognizability rules. I just, again, don't understand the recognizability stuff. Number one, from the killer side, it is very easy to recognize who you're going against, which is why I don't think killers even need to have skin guidelines. You are seeing the intro. You are seeing in bold red text the name of the killer you're going against. The skin doesn't change the name of the killer. It doesn't change the name. You can see in bold text that it's a cool kid, or it's a 1X, or it's a Jason, or this and that. So I feel like this skin guidelines and then this recognizability stuff is so confusing. And I literally just got off Forsaken moments before making this video, and I saw a Shledletsky's skin that has his sword out 24/7 because it struggles with recognizability. And then, like, what is that? What is that? That's so odd. It's just so odd to me. And I just don't understand this recognizability rule. Like, I literally wrote down a notepad to talk about this topic, and I expected to be able to, like, talk about everything in a calm and civilized manner and, like, you know, keep everything on track. But I literally can't. It just is so mind-boggling, even when I've got, you know, like, a piece of paper to talk about what I want to talk about, and I'm still getting my head wrapped around it. I just don't understand. I don't understand the skin recognizability stuff, and then all these reference skins getting added. I still don't understand why Chara got declined for not fitting 1X, but then Diva, like, apparently does. I'm also not throwing a stray at the skin. Like, I've had people say that when I mention it before. Just because I'm mentioning it doesn't mean I'm hating on it or I'm throwing a stray at it. You know as well as I know that Diva doesn't fit 1X. I'm not saying the skin is bad. I'm saying it doesn't fit who it was given to, because it doesn't fit. It like literally just doesn't fit. Like, you can't tell me that it doesn't fit when it doesn't fit. And I don't know. I need to collect myself for a second. This recognizability stuff, there are, like, quite a few skins that break that. Again, I've already said Diva. Diva breaks that. The Diva 1X and Cool Kid. Hito 2 Time. The Kevin Jason. Like, these are just completely different characters. They're just completely different characters. Like, if it wasn't for the intro, you wouldn't know who that is. And just, I don't know. I really wish that there wasn't so many reference skins in the game. Because at the end of the day, to conclude the whole rant of fuckery that I just went through for 14 minutes, I want Forsaken to really focus on more original content, because I feel like right now the skin identity is like not looking good for the game. I know most people don't really pay attention to that, but as somebody who loves skins, like loves skins for games, and I like making skin concepts for the game. I made some 1337 concepts, play the image. I like making original skins, and I like, you know, making concepts and stuff. And I really feel like people could make cool original skins. Like you have so much potential to make original skins for each dude. Like cool kid, evil group of hackers, like a cultist type deal, evil hacker, stuff like that. 1X, he's a manifestation of Shaletsky's hatred. He's all this like evil code. And he's got the awesome contrast, so there's like a lot of potential with stuff like that. John Doe, he's got the corruption on the side of his head, and he's got one spike arm, stuff like that. And like Noli, you know, the half side, like one half is this, one half is that. Like, you know, body swap potion, stuff like that. Just like throwing examples out there. Jason, well, Jason's getting redone, so we're just gonna throw Jason out of the equation here. But Shaletsky, he made Sword Fight on the Heights. He made some other games. Protect Helaman from the zombies. Sword Fight on the Heights swords, stuff like that. Darkheart, Ghost Dagger, Lumina, this and that, you know? Guest 1337, he was in the military. He's a guest. Stuff like that. Chance, gambler. He's dressed up in fancy clothing. Got a revolver, got a coin. A lot of potential with this stuff. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'm just going to talk about most of them. These guys already have such unique things to their personalities to where a lot of original stuff is possible. Builderman, he's a builder. He builds a sentry and he builds a healing station. There's so much potential with that. You don't even need to look at like UGC or look up a pop culture reference. Just take a moment, go in the catalog, browse through the hats, and you will see something. That's what I do to come up with my original skins. I just browse through the catalog until I see a hat and I'm like, oh, that would actually fit pretty well with the dude that I'm trying to make a skin for. There are so many things you can do, and it just feels like the potential for original skins is just ignored. Original skins are fun. They're awesome. Like, again, final time I'm saying this, just because I know that people probably skipped through the video a little bit, and I'm going to say this. I don't have a problem with reference skins. That is not what I'm saying. I'm not being a stickler and saying that Forsaken has to have completely original content. Reference skins are not allowed. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't like how common they make reference skins, and also how much effort gets put into said reference skin. Like, they get way too much effort put into them, and that's like what bothers me the most, because they really truthfully shouldn't be getting that much effort. All this custom stuff they're getting, they really shouldn't be getting all that. There's nothing wrong with a few custom things, but when it's getting enough custom stuff to the point where it could just be its own killer, I think it's where you need to realize something. As well as there should be a limit to certain references. Like, there should be a limit to reference skins so the game doesn't feel plastered with those. Because if I'm not mistaken, they did Earthbound skins like a bit ago, and there was a lot, and I mean a lot, of Earthbound skins. There was a lot of those. Like, there needs to be a limit, and the guidelines should really focus on that stuff more. It should be less focused on recognizability, in my opinion, and more focused on the reference stuff. Because I don't think that recognizability should be such a problem. And when it is a problem, there's still skins that go against the recognizability guidelines. Like, everybody talks about it, but then you've got, like, some of these skins, and because everybody likes them, they just ignore the fact that you can't even tell who it is. They just ignore it. It makes no sense to me. I'm seriously getting a headache. I'm seriously getting a headache. I apologize if any of this video was a clusterfuck, or if I repeated myself like 5 times. I just genuinely think that the Forsaken skin reputation is not in a healthy state right now, and I wish it would be. I wish that it would be healthier, and there'd be more original stuff, and the game could have a much larger identity. Because if I'm not mistaken, most of the skins that came with Noli were just collabs and references. So, that kind of sucks, you know? Like, I really wish there was more original things. I know I've said that like a lot, like a billion times, but again, this topic genuinely hurts my head. So anyways, I've decided that I'm also going to interview a few people, whether they're friends of mine or they're just contributors for the game, and I want to know what their opinions on the skin identity is. The skin identity and the reference skins, do I think they should be in the game or whatever? I'm going to do that. So, yeah, roll the clips of my interviews. Alright, so we've got all our interview answers gathered. And I would just like to real quick give a shout out to Rockimaru. Hey Rocky, you're the reason this video got stalled by a day, because I had to wait for you to record your response, and I had to transcript your response. So, you're the reason this video got stalled. So I just want everybody who's watching this video right now to know that he's a bitch for stalling my video. Anyways, let's get to these interviews. So, I interviewed a few people. Some wanted to be anonymous, some did not. So, we will start with, we'll just go down this little list that I typed them in. But first, there is Chirag, however you say your name. I don't know. The questions that I asked all of these people were, what are your thoughts on Forsaken's skin recognizability, and do you think there are some skins in-game that are not recognizable? And then the other question I asked was, do you think there are too many reference skins in Forsaken? I'll just leave the questions somewhere up on here so you can remember that those are the questions there. So, Drag's response, question 1, was, it's more of a non-issue type deal, I feel like, since there are various factors to be able to distinguish different survivors apart. Survivor HUD, ability usage, how vastly different each survivor skins are. The only real one you could say feels a little hard to distinguish is Taff and Shedlitsky's Tielemans skin, both facing away from the camera, far away in dark lighting. These aren't really issues if everyone has a unique appearance and plays as normal. The only main issue with the skin recognizability stuff is just purely people stacking upon the same skins. You're simply unable to tell which person is which unless the person is limping, and can cause a good deal of stress trying to distinguish which survivor you'd want to go after next if the nearest people around all have the same skin. The answer to question 2 depends on what you mean by reference. Too many pop culture ones? Yes, most definitely, though it greatly depends on a few factors, I feel like. Does it fit with the character's characteristics? Dr. Ludwig's resurrection ability fitting with the 2x resurrection beliefs and abilities? Are they brightly colored? This is important due to how Forsaken is naturally a horror asymmetrical game, having to keep that horror aesthetic with a desaturated color scheme. What is it referencing? If it's Roblox related media, it should probably fit in with the Roblox aesthetic. It's hard to define what does and doesn't fit since the devs themselves can't even decide what they want the tone of the game to be. They try and write the most heartbreaking serious lore ever, alongside making some very well-made gritty maps with great ambience, but alongside put shit like Banana Bus Breakdown as a chase theme, completely destroying the dark nature of the maps. The devs can't really decide what they want the game to be, which I can't blame for them since A, they're too far into the skins and can't remove them and risk many people being angry. B, a big part of Forsaken popularity is based on the skins they add in, akin to Fortnite. So now we have a few anonymous responses. So, yeah, let's just start going through these anonymous ones real quick. Okay, so to question 1, the recognizability guidelines is dumb because nobody worries about it except the owner themselves and wastes everyone's time. You can literally look down at the health of people and it tells you what they're using. It also shows the killer's name when the intro plays before the match starts, so it's very obvious already. Question 2. I mean, yeah, but is it really an issue? I think it's fine, as long as the reference isn't slop. Anonymous 2 said, the recognizability issue is just a thing one of the new owners, not naming any names, started using as an excuse to stall Noli and not add skins like Chara 1X, because they don't fit the killer, and they proceed to add a Miku 1X skin and Tito 2x skin. Recognizability isn't an issue. It's very easy to figure out who is who by looking at the bottom left of your screen and looking at who the killer is. Question 2. Reference skins are fine if they do it right, honestly, but I really hate the reference skins that just don't fit Forsaken's identity. Like Don't Touch My Pizza Jason and Gubby Elliot. Skins like that feel like the devs had a hyperfixation of something and then said, let's add this to the game, guys. There's 100% some love given into some skins, but I wish that some of that effort was put into original skin designs or for finishing upcoming killers. Anonymous number 3. It was never that difficult to recognize the survivor/killers if you just pay a little attention with how they move and what they wield. However, I am throwing shade to some skins, Ito Miku skins this update especially, with how they treated them by giving them a weapon of a killer survivor's choice despite having no correlation to the character. Question 2. It needs a balance, especially with how this update demonstrated. With how Forsaken began having a balance, you can really see how big this has shifted after within this update. Alright, and then we go back to the regular replies. Floors had wanted to participate in the interview. So their answer to question 1 was, Forsaken's skin recognizability thing is really, really dumb. Especially as they themselves do not follow this rule time to time, and it kind of just seems like it's used to downplay contributors' work and such. From what I've seen interacting with the community, there is a lot of things about skins the team refuses to even follow with. Again, example being the skin limit, which was only raised after they made a mistake of being biased and people pointed it out. Plus, I don't necessarily think recognizability is an issue when you can look into the left corner to see the render and the actual survivor name under it. It's a quick solution rather than trying to say, this doesn't look like blank. Question 2. There are definitely too many reference skins. References are cool and all, but it gets to a point it feels like Fortnite. I really do wish they made more non-references to any existing media and would mess around with accessories made by Roblox, for example. An ice cream domino Roblox made for an ice cream 1x or something like that instead of having more references. They can do so much better if they focus on what they were originally doing from the start. Roblox media or old Roblox lore and whatnot. And then these final 2 are voice messages, so I'll just throw up my transcript and listen away.
So I think when it comes to skin recognizability, I think the devs are just really inconsistent with it because they talk about how much they want skin recognizability to be a thing, but there are skins in the game like the boy and girl skins for Guest and Diva, just to name a few, that are not really easily recognizable on a first glance. And I think like part of the reason is because of how many reference skins are in the game. There's a lot of reference skins in the game. And like I get like collab skins, right? Because like eventually you're gonna have to collab with a game. But I think the references in general are also just kind of overdone because I think a lot of original skins don't really get treated as well as certain reference skins do. And it's just kind of sad because like if you look at like Umbra Noli, he is treated like way better than a lot of the Noli skins, like a lot of just like the miscellaneous 1k OC Noli skins that we got. And I think like those skins should have a chance to have more like custom things. Like I don't think everything custom should be relegated to references. That's all.
Yeah, so I don't think that there's too many unrecognizable skins in Forsaken. I feel like there's very specific times where maybe at like a first glance you could mistake one skin for a different character, like Old Mafioso and Chance, but I feel like it's really only short glances and usually only maybe your first 1 or 2 times against that specific thing. Like I feel like it's not enough of an issue to warrant any skins being changed over it, or enough of an issue to scrap any skins for it. I feel like giving Telemon Shadletsky a sword was a pretty good change because it has directly the same hat as Taff, but that's only because of a hyper-specific case where they legitimately shared the same hat, like the same exact version of the same exact model, right? But I feel like usually it wouldn't warrant like any other skins. Like I feel like even though Old Mafioso and Chance did look similar, I don't really think either of them would have needed a change to recognizability. I know Hytoko mentioned like Cupcake's Cool Kid minions, how because they were versions of survivors that they might need to change. I really don't think they need to change because they are miscolored to show that they're dead, and also they're in this like fucking hunchback pose. They also have things all over them. I feel like really that isn't much of an issue. And regarding reference skins, there is a lot in Forsaken, and I guess if you wanted a real straight white or black yes or no answer, the answer is yes, there is too many. But in reality, I don't really think reference skins are that bad, as long as number one, they aren't taking effort from other skins that are more deserving, I guess, and also as long as they're from good sources. Like I definitely wouldn't want to see like any fucking Diddy games being referenced. And 3, they're respectful to the source material. Like I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but I don't want another hacklord situation. Feel like if you're gonna do a reference skin, you should do it right, and there should be a cutback on reference skins. I feel like more reference skins should be aimed towards where the character and the skin being made actually are similar to each other, which is why I feel like hacklord 1x was a good idea. But like, I guess no hate to this skin, but like Umbra Noli, I feel like was a bit of a stretch. Like they really don't. I don't really think they're that similar to each other. Like Noli's similar to the fucking dude from FNAF. I don't fucking know. Let me think of another example. Oh, middle little brother guest. I feel like that wasn't necessary. Like they're not really similar. I mean, sure they both punch, but they're not really that similar in lore. Yeah.
So yeah, that was what other people thought about the Forsaken skin reference stuff. If you think that the reference skins are fine, if you think that they should stay, or you think that they should make more, that's fine. If you think that there should be less, good. Good. Because you're probably right. You're probably right. But yeah, that really concludes this video. I'm tired. I'm tired. My brain hurts. I need to get a fucking drink. Oh, shit. This was one hell of a video. I hope that I talked about stuff in a clear fashion. If I didn't, I am so sorry. I tried my best. Like, I'm being so genuine. I literally tried my best. And then the final disclaimer, I'm not harassing anybody. I'm not throwing hate out. I'm not trying to throw strays at skins. Well, okay, I'm kind of trying to throw strays a little bit. But I'm not trying to hate on anything. This isn't hate. This is just me constructively critiquing something. I am not trying to hate on anything. Okay? Anybody out there who thinks I'm a hater, please don't think that. I love you. I love Forsaken. And I love all the work that comes to the game. Not hating. So please don't say I'm a hater. It's not nice. It's not nice to lie about things, okay? Let's not be liars. So, yeah. That's really it for this video. Y'all take care.